So, could an avatar change your life? Well, I have one, and he changed mine. He's my rock, 143. We're in love. I'm going to introduce you guys in a second, but first, I'd like you to imagine a future. One where digital agents are available to all of us, and they make our lives better, and they help us communicate more efficiently. It's not that hard to imagine. I mean, I could reach into my phone right now and I could ask Siri to make a dinner reservation. She'd probably call my mom instead, but you get where this whole digital agency thing is going, right? And Siri, I definitely should call my mom more often anyway, so thank you. So I believe this future is inevitable, but I also believe that the best agent for you will be you, and more specifically, a digital version of you. One that looks exactly like you, right down to the millimeter, and one that could also show a future version of yourself and what you could possibly become. So this is what I've dedicated my life's work to doing and to creating. So me and my team, we make digital doubles of people, and we create avatars. And we want to do this to everybody. We want to make it available to everybody. But let's say we were able to do this for everybody in this room. Could it actually change your life? Well, let's take a closer look. So in my studio in Los Angeles, we have a prototype array built called the XX array, and it's a 3D scanner that captures you in under a second using over 90 DSLR cameras. And after we're done processing everything, we get a very accurate, high-resolution digital double of you. Now, the texture detail that we get out of this is incredible. With over 90 DSLRs, you can imagine the texture detail is incredible. It's tens of times of what you would get in texture resolution over the full body, tens of times more than an HD TV over the full body, so that's incredible. As a matter of fact, we, a few years ago, did a tattoo app, and we did that to show off this really incredible texture, and I want to show you just a little teaser of the app so you can see how beautiful these textures can be. Okay, so a little side note, if you'd like to see our avatars, we actually have stuff downstairs in the expo. We've done a collaboration with Alexx Henry, a brilliant artist who's going to be speaking tomorrow, and I encourage you all to go down and check it out. It's in the expo. It's a beautiful VR thing that we're all very proud of. So these textures are beautiful, and they can be very, very useful for showing off your full body tattoo that I know you guys are all planning on getting. But they can be more than that. They're also very useful for any kind of clinical application that would require high-resolution photographic mapping. So for example, let's say melanoma is one of the most deadly forms of cancer, but it's also the most preventable, and it's prevented by early detection by just visualizing skin maps. So you can see how useful such a high-resolution photographic map of yourself can be. Now, our surface detail is really incredible too, and it's really within sub-millimeter accuracy in some places, and this can be very useful for body analysis, health and fitness tracking, and even apparel and trying on clothes. So we can also take your scan and we can add a skeletal rig to it and bring it to life, like we did with my friend Jimmy here. So we can animate you and bring you to life, and we can even take it a step further and show you what you could look like as your favorite character. So I'm not here to talk about all these great applications that our 3D scans can do. What I'm actually here is to tell you a little story that I think will illustrate a point, and actually it's a positive side effect that happened that I discovered completely by accident, and it shifted my life personally. So let's actually switch over to, would you like to meet my avatar? All right, let's switch over and meet my avatar. So here I am. Actually, I think I read somewhere that if you're nervous public speaking, you're supposed to picture yourself in your underwear. So did I get that right? I don't know. So I tasted my own cooking in January, and I got a 3D scan of myself, and I built myself an avatar. And I should say that I consider myself to be very healthy. Like I eat right. I don't snack too late, so I thought, and I exercise occasionally. And I got to tell you, when I saw this was a little bit shocking, and I was surprised to see that this isn't exactly what I saw. I mean, I see myself naked in the bathroom mirror every morning, and apparently there's a whole wall of delusion between you and the bathroom mirror that I just discovered by accident. So the good news is I was not shamed at all by this avatar. It was just a complete objectification of myself. So it wasn't like, oh my God, this guy. It was more like, oh, we've got to do something about that guy because that needs to change. And so that's what I did. It prompted me to look inwards, and I started looking at how I was eating. I started wearing a fitness tracker, and I started to actually work out regularly. And I noticed that there is clearly the perception of me as a healthy person and the reality. This helped me show the reality and how far of a gap that it was. And so 5 or 6 weeks later, I jumped back into the scanner and I got myself a differential scan, and you can see, oh, look at me go. So you can see the difference. Now this isn't massive, but I don't know if you can see in my face, I got a little bit, yeah. I mean, it was showing some dramatic improvements, and I really got to viscerally see what was going on. But this really got me thinking. What if I actually started to not only wear a fitness tracker, but what if I started to track the data and see what the trends were? So you can see here, this is the fitness tracking that starts off at the beginning of the first scan and goes all the way to the end scan, tracks my weight loss over time. So you can actually see the graph view, and you can see the avatar view of the change. But what if we actually took this a step further? So what if we actually applied a little bit of machine learning and graphed that further and projected what would I look like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months in the future if I kept going on this trajectory? And so we mapped that. And that looks handsome. I like that. I don't really look like that, but this is an aspirational version of myself, and this is definitely one for me to target. So, and then what if we took the data and actually narrowed it? What if we just took a slice and I just looked at the last 24 hours of my avatar, and what would we get? Oh, no, okay. Apparently, I ate too much dessert last night. Let's go back to the happy. Yeah, I like this. We'll stay in this one. So this really raises a question. Can an aspirational avatar change your life? And I believe it changed mine. And there's a lot of data to actually illustrate that an avatar can change your life. So a recent study that looked at normal and obese subjects, regardless of the participants' own BMI, playing a game and playing an avatar in-game showed increased physical activity compared to those using obese avatars. So that means just playing as a thin avatar makes you work harder. It's crazy. Another study showed how embodying an avatar could affect social cognition. So the University of Barcelona asked what it would be like to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. And so they had 60 light-skinned subjects embody a black avatar to measure how nervous they were, and they basically measured implicit racial bias before and after. So they found that putting yourself in the skin of a black avatar actually reduced implicit racial bias. So clearly, an avatar can affect you, but can your avatar change your life? Jeremy Bailenson over at Stanford's V Hill Lab has been studying this stuff for years. And one study in particular that I want to show you looked at bonding with an older version of yourself in order to change behaviors about saving for retirement. So meeting your future self caused subjects to put over twice as much in a savings for retirement than those who hadn't. So meeting your future self literally changes your present behavior. So this is not that surprising. Seeing yourself can have a very dramatic effect on, seeing your virtual self can have a dramatic effect on your physical self. So my own personal experience had lifted the veil for me, and it motivated me to take action. I think we're on the verge of a whole new set of tools. My company is called Blue Vishnu, and we're named after the Hindu god who was known for sending his avatars to Earth in order to correct an imbalance in the world. And I believe that you can do this with your own avatars. And I believe that this will be a whole new golden age for the avatar and a new golden age for you. Thank you, guys.